Hello, I'm Ayca, Aydogdu, and welcome to my Corona Diaries. I'm a presenter on TRT World and currently in self-isolation due to an illness that I have that puts me in the extreme vulnerable group because of the coronavirus. Now, initially it was for 12 weeks, but by the looks of it, it will go beyond June. Now, I should stop counting, but I am in week 9. I'm presenting this show from home and aiming to present it weekly to explore the challenges facing all of us during this pandemic and in self-isolation. Now, this week we are talking about money worries, because millions of people around the world are facing the fear of losing their job while unemployment soars. Many are being furloughed or facing the fear of being made redundant. And also people who are self-employed or have their own businesses during this unprecedented time are struggling to pay their rent, to pay the wages of their staff, even to pay for their bills. So many viewers have shared with us how they're coping during this time and their worries. Now, to talk further on this, joining me on the program today, entrepreneur and personal finance expert Ozlem Denizmen, and also someone who's here to share her story with us while she has been made redundant and she's campaigning for it, who's a chef and also the New Starter Justice campaigner, Rosa. Well, thank you both of you for joining us on the program today on my Corona Diaries. Now let's start with you, Ozlem, but first let's watch the video from Miray here in London talking about her struggles.
Hello, my name is Miray Çimen. I've been living in London for almost 4 years and I'm working as a social media content creator, so I make videos for small businesses. What can I say about my own situation during coronavirus pandemic? Of course, it's been a difficult time, but this time, the hardest time of my life. The reason I'm saying this is because we still have to pay rent, we still have to pay bills or essential things. Everything has stopped for a while, but life is going on and my account is melting because I couldn't earn anything for 4 months, past 4 months. And government gives us income support, but it's not enough for my own family, unfortunately. Also, I have a son. He is 4 years old and he is extremely bored to stay at home. And he misses teachers, he misses friends. And it's really hard time. Therefore, we are thinking about what are we going to do in the future. Because we don't have any answer, we don't have any assurance. That's why we have concerns.
Now, Ozlem, looking at Miray, there always seems money worries are combined with stress and anxiety as well. But looking at the financial side of things, I mean, she is struggling quite a bit and finding the help is not enough. So any tips there on household budget or how to juggle the bills?
Let's go to the financials. Now, in terms of financials is, number one, separating needs and wants. Not everything that we have to spend money on is need. So we really have to identify that. So I recommend everybody take a piece of paper and, make a budget in 2 folds, needs and wants. What are needs and what are wants? Needs are, rent. Well, she says she has difficulty paying her rent. Okay, maybe what can be done is that, which I recommended to some of my followers, is it possible to speak with your with the land person, the landlord, and make some agreement. And if it doesn't work, maybe it is okay to move for a while. Again, this time will pass for a while with your family. And so that is why it is extremely important to have what I call emergency fund. Emergency fund means for you to have at least 3 months to 6 months of needs spending in a bank, in cash, for times like this.
Now, Ozlem, looking by the things of this, probably because of this pandemic, we don't have to just change our health habits, but also our mind state when it comes to financials. So let's bring in Rosa there. Rosa, the next video is from Natalia in Florence. Let's watch it and take it from there.
Hi guys, I'm Natalia. I'm a barista from Florence in Italy. And the situation here is very critical, maybe I will start to work in this week, but it was 3 months I'm not working, and so it is 3 months that I don't receive a salary, and all of us are waiting for the layoff, the government salary, but it doesn't arrive. It is very late. So the situation in this Cote d'Ivoire was very bad. But the only thing, Florence is a very small city, so we know between us, and the only thing help was the friendship and the family. And so never give up. Thank you. Bye-bye.
So now, throughout this time, Rosa, many have turned to their friends or family who can actually. It's not an option for everyone. But so how are you coping throughout this time, and what kind of difficulties and challenges have you faced?
It's definitely important to keep in touch with family and friends. I would say it's a very stressful time for everybody, and keeping in touch with family and friends will obviously help your mental stress as well. You'll try and keep that down. It's obviously been very stressful because it's difficult to pay bills, and obviously with the people in the situation I'm in where they're ineligible for the furlough scheme in the UK because they started a job too late, obviously. It's difficult because you've got to then try and pay the bills and everything with one income if you're living with a partner, and if you're not, then obviously you're stuck. But hopefully we're campaigning to try and we're trying to be able to produce like means of our income. So if we were employed and we had contracts and we had pay stubs, things like that, we're trying to be able to provide those to hopefully be able to get the scheme adjusted so that we're included as well.
Any tips maybe to Natalia there in Florence, how you are changing your financial ways, or how the campaign is helping?
So the campaign at the moment is great for the support of the members. I would say financially, obviously I'm not a financial advisor, but I've been obviously sort of keeping an eye on what I'm spending on, sort of buying cheaper versions of what I would usually buy. Looking for deals in supermarkets, things like that.
Well, let's bring him back. Ozlem there. Ozlem, there's a video from Ezgi Ezdar Onur, who is part of Bikomshu, and let's find out what that is from Istanbul.
After this pandemic started, we thought, how can we help the people in need? And it was harder for some people who were already suffering about the situation. And we saw that there are some delays, postponements about rent. There are some food aids. You can also get some food as a loan. But there were some gaps about bills payment. And we thought we can do something about the house bills. And that's how we created bikomsu.com. The numbers are very hopeful, and it's just have been 2 weeks right now. And now I'm checking the numbers on our website, and I see that 7,700,000 Turkish liras are waiting to be paid. And 600,000 Turkish liras of bills are paid right now, and that means nearly 4,000 people, nearly 4,000 families are happier now.
So this is quite impressive, Ozlem. Maybe you can set an example to other countries, but what other forms of help is out there, or as an individual, what can one do?
Right. I love Bikomshu. As I was listening, I went online and registered. It is fantastic. We have an economic slap that hit us in the face, regardless of the country. So, and we are just going to see the effects of this more and more everywhere. So what I recommend is, first of all, we are also in the month of Ramadan. It's a month of giving. So what I very much recommend is for you to seek who in your outer circle, small circle, needs help. And then one more circle. But don't be like this. Hello, Ayşe, do you need help? No. Ayşe, I know that you don't make money the last 3 months. And guess what? I have a couple of, $1,000 spare. I would like to give this to you, and no problems whatsoever. You'll pay me back when you can. So in other words, we need open-hearted talks with people without breaking or touching their hearts, doing this with integrity, but help, empathy, compassion, being human is extremely important these days.
Of course, those are beautiful words and good to share, and maybe it will set an example for everybody. So the next one is an Insta question, actually Insta share rather, Rosa. So Chidam Turan says, we are eating non-stop. I spend 3 times more for food than I used to because we're home all the time. So empty pockets and a big stomach. So since you're a chef, have you come up with ideas to reduce your spending on groceries, or what should we cook to spend less?
I'm definitely in the same situation. I've been eating a lot more because I'm home all the time. I would say I eat a lot of stir fries because sort of fresh vegetables and things like that from the supermarket are obviously a lot cheaper. If you can get sort of chicken breasts or something just to throw in there, it's nice and a good way to keep your costs down, but also try not, obviously in my situation, I've been eating a lot. I'm trying to sort of not gain too much weight from it. So stir fries, things like that, they're brilliant for keeping costs down, but also staying healthy.
And probably good on the budget. So one last Insta question, Ozlem, to you coming. That's from Nusena. When they eventually ease the lockdown measures, it's a scary idea of going back to work wearing masks for 9 hours a day and already being at risk with my asthma. What if it comes to a point where I have to choose my health over my job? Now, of course, this advice will be on future worries, but how do you tackle, of course, not the anxiety part, but the financial strategies to think about for the future?
Ayca, first of all, when there is a will, there is a way. Just like you're in your condition, you're not supposed to get out of the house. You're making a wonderful show. So, but if your profession doesn't allow you to be in the house, and if you have a critical condition, gain new skills. The internet is, there's plenty of new skills. Who are hiring? E-commerce is hiring. Logistics companies are hiring. Data people are being hired. So get new skills. For example, equip yourself with, to be either a blogger, virtual assistant, or just, become a data person. So there are many new skills that are needed in new age and with different industries, mostly digitally, that are growing. I am welcoming people coming out of the comfort zone. Only 2% people can come out of the comfort zone. Come out of the comfort zone, equip yourself with new skills, and get great support from your friends and family and those who give it to you, and go for the new life.
Well, great tips there. Thank you very much, both of you, Ozlem Denizmen and Rosa Weber, for joining us on the show today. Now, as countries are easing lockdown or looking at the start of easing things, well, there's an uncertainty about people who are vulnerable or extremely vulnerable, like me, how long we have to shield at home, or for people who are older than 70 and who are actually very healthy. They're finding it discriminating of being left isolated and lonely. So next week, we're talking about the vulnerable people in a lockdown. So any questions, any worries, do share to my Insta account, Chacha-I, and you can watch all our episodes of Corona Diaries on our YouTube channel, TRT World Corona Diaries. Do stay sane and safe.